It's the former leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, Thomas Edward Silverstein. We'll give you a tour of his cell soon enough, but first we should dive into what one man can possibly do that's so heinous that he's barred from any and all human contact for the rest of his life, multiple times over. Terrible Tom Silverstein was born February 4, 1952, in Long Beach, California. Even before he was born, his life was in turmoil. His mother, Virginia, was having an affair with a man named Thomas Conway. As an adult, Tommy claimed that Thomas Conway was his biological father, which is likely part of what led Virginia to divorce her husband and remarry Conway before little Tommy was even born. Born Thomas Conway, named after his mother's brand new husband, the little boy didn't have long to get used to his family life before it was upended again. The marriage broke down, and by Tommy's 4th birthday he had another father, a man named Sid Silverstein. Silverstein adopted the boy as his own and passed on his surname, but it was clear from a young age that Tommy Silverstein was not going to live an easy life. Virginia was a drinker. The more she drank, the more violent she'd become, something Thomas would become more familiar with. One of Silverstein's earliest memories was a time when he had wet the bed. His mother flew into a rage and grabbed a paper cup from the kitchen. She demanded that he pee into the cup and then drink it. She warned him that this was going to happen every time he wet the bed from that point on. Silverstein was incredibly timid growing up, always shying away from other kids and not wanting to engage at school. The other kids, having heard the Jewish surname Silverstein and seeing him as a weak target, started to pick on him. This anti-Semitic bullying started from a young age. Tommy returned home from school one day with a bloody nose, which was the work of an older boy named Gary. The next day, Virginia waited outside the school for Gary to leave. When she saw him, she grabbed the boy and held him still, demanding that Tommy punch him in the face as hard as he could. Tommy did what he was told. The next day, Gary's father tried to return the favor, snatching Tommy on his way home, but the boy escaped and ran home. That night, in a drunken rage, Virginia took Tommy to Gary's family's home and threw bricks through the windows. The lesson she was doing her best to drill into him was that violence was always the solution, and any kind of vulnerability was weakness, and she would not have a weak son. It was Tommy's job to do the worst jobs in the house,